So actually start in a seated position this morning. When you cross your legs, it's nice to kind of lift your hips up and then really make a strong structure with like shin over shin. Slide that back. No, just move the mat back. And then flex your feet really, really strong. Yeah. Good. And then just bring your hands onto the tops of the thighs, let the shoulders draw down the back, and just sit up nice and tall and just feel for a few moments here as you breathe. Flex the feet. So the feet are flexed strong under the knees. You're creating like a box with your legs. It's called Sukhasana. And you're just sitting up tall and you're breathing nice slow inhale through the nose, nice slow exhale through the nose, also known as Ujjayi breath. Let yourself just feel this morning as you move through the practice. Just switch the legs and flex the feet again. So opposite shin. And if you need to like tent the fingers, lift the hips a little and then lower back down, that actually puts you in a little bit of a better position. Flex the feet super strong, shoulders draw down the back. Good. And this time, if you want to lean out a little and start to crawl the hands a little forward to the right. Let the seat kind of move back, come through center, and then crawl a little to the left and just feel here. Why don't you push that over there? We're moving furniture in this room. There you go. Perfect. Okay, come back through center. You crawl yourself up. We're gonna drop down onto our forearms. We're gonna do forearm backward, forearm bicycle. So it's gonna look like this. The palms go flat, the shoulders draw down the back. The legs are gonna lift, they're gonna elevate, okay? So your shoulders are kind of, in your forearms are kind of in a backwards chaturanga-like arm. Your knees can be bent if they need to be, but the goal here is to keep the neck very neutral. The belly's drawing in, and you're just gonna start to bicycle it out. So the right leg and the left leg, you're just gonna start to bicycle it out here. Forearms pressed down into the mat. Good, and draw the navel in and neck is neutral. Just pedal it out like you're taking a bicycle ride. Good, keep going. Just pedal the legs, draw the belly in, let the shoulders draw down the back, scoop up the belly. Good, keep going. Keep pedaling. For 10, just breathe. 9, 8, 7, breathe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Backwards, but now see if you could do it. For 10, I can't even do it. 9, 8, 7, 6, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross the ankles, plant the hands, step into a tabletop position. The goal is just to build a little heat, guys, and make a connection. So tabletop position, curls, curl the toes into the mat. I can't even speak. Sink the spine down and look forward, and then round the spine deeply and look in. Good, go like that, sinking down, basic cat and cow. Exhale and round and look in. Good. Sink the spine down, look forward. Good, round and look in. One more, sinking spine down, connect. Round and look in. The arms are nice and engaged. Come to flat back, tabletop position. Extend the arms a little bit more forward, hands a little more forward. Index fingers face forward. Curl the toes into the mat and start to lift the hips to your first dog. And in this dog, you're going to take up a lot of space this morning on your mat. You can pedal out your legs, move the right leg, move the left leg, kind of walking the dog. Yeah. Good, and the goal is to breathe your hips way up off your shoulders, okay? Breathe the hips way, way up off the shoulders. Let the head just hang. The thumb, the index finger, the baby finger press firmly into the mat. So tighten it up, Evan. Bring your feet closer to you. Make it a little shorter down dog. It may be a little easier. Yeah, and then the movement of your shoulders is away from your ears. So you don't want to feel like all the weight is dumping into your shoulders. You want to breathe your hips way up off your shoulders, and you may need to bend your knees in order to find that. Good. And then find some stillness if you can. I'm demonstrating in the camera what it would look like to have a down dog with kind of bent knees. But if you notice, the hips lift really, really high, the head hangs soft, and then you plug down. And then in time, maybe your heels are able to get a little closer to the ground. In time. I'm still waiting. And then lead with your heart and chest, roll forward from dog to plank. Yep, and for the first one, sometimes you need to adjust. It doesn't feel quite right. So your shoulders should be over elbows, elbows over wrists, your dristi, your focal point, forward to the front skinny edge of the mat. Your navel drawing into the back of the spine, your thighs contracting. So essentially you're just making a straight line of energy. Plug down, your thumb presses, your baby finger presses. Plug a little bit more down into the mat, activate the center line of the body and hug in. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Roll forward, plank position. Yep. Drop your knees down so they're on an angle, and I recommend keeping the toes curled, such as I'm demonstrating. Lower halfway to a supported push-up. Less is more. Your elbows slide by your side body. Re-straighten your arms to supported push-up. The knees are down. Lift your knees so you're in a plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing. We're going to try and move on the breath. Everyone may be a little bit different. Roll forward, plank. Drop your knees so they're on an angle. You don't need to walk them in. Halfway to a push-up that works for you. A micro movement is sometimes even better, just a small movement. Re-straighten your arms to a supported plank. Lift the knees so you're in a straight line plank position. Activate the core. Hips up and back, downward facing. One more, roll forward, create some momentum. Drop your knees so they're on an angle. Halfway to a push-up, neck is neutral. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. Lift the knees, activate the thighs. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and through beyond your fingertips. Activate, yeah, and if your foot didn't get quite up there, you can always use your hands to kind of scoot it up there. And then spring your left foot forward, hips width distance. Long spine on the inhale, breath. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag the hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Good, dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare, and then just guide your right leg back, big step. Plant the hands, step to a plank. Halfway to a push-up, add in what you need here, drop your knees if you need to. Re-straighten your arms. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look forward with your eyes, step your left foot forward, beyond your fingertips. Spring your right foot forward, take your time. Long spine on the inhale, hands can always rest on your shins. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. So the goal right now is just to make a connection with breath and movement. Arms go straight up, look up. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Take a big step back with your left leg. Plant your palms, slide the right leg back to join, plank. You can always just hold here, halfway to a push-up. Re-straighten in one piece. Hips up and back, down dog. Just keep moving. Right foot lands, low lunge. Left foot joins, top of mat. The feet can stay separated. Long spine, hands can also go to your shins. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine to prepare yourself, just guide your right leg back. Hands go flat, left foot joins, plank position. Halfway to a push-up. Re-straighten in one piece. Hips up and back, down dog. Step the left foot forward on the breath. Take your time. Right foot joins at the top. Long spine on the extension. Fold in half. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms go straight up, look up. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Left foot takes a generous step back. Right foot joins plank. Halfway to a push-up, pause in your push-up. Up dog or cobra, press even through your hands, the tops of the feet. Yeah. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Yeah. So at any given point, you can add or subtract push-ups, you can take them out, make this work for you. Look where you want to go. You can step your feet to the top of the mat, or you can, crawl or hop. Long spine once you get there. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine, your hands have to touch the ground, guys. Take 2 big steps back into a plank. You got it. Lower halfway to a push-up. Pull yourself through a nice smooth up dog or cobra. Pick what feels best in your body. No jerky movements. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. The arms stay super straight if you can. The legs may need to bend, okay? Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Get there nice and light. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag the hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms go straight up towards the sky, keep going. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare, step, float through a vinyasa. So push up to a plank position to a push up dog or cobra. Pick something that feels good in your body. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float, top. Keep it moving. Long spine, weight is forward, fold in half. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms go straight up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare, step or float through a vinyasa. Halfway to a push-up, up dog. Cobra is really great if your back is sensitive. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Stick your butt way back. So the lower half of the body is going down. The upper half of the body is moving up. Your arms can be open at any amount, but the goal is to try and get them as straight as possible. Little natural curve in your lower spine. Press through your heels, shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer at the top, drop your arms. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Sit heavy in your heels for chair. Stick your butt way back. Dive in half over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine sets you up, step, float through a vinyasa. So plank to push up. I'll show you what the cobra looks like if you're wondering. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward for a crescent lunge. Rise on your breath. Yep. So crescent lunge is essentially your right leg's at a 90-degree angle and your back leg is active and straight and you're high on the ball of your back foot. Yeah. So your arms can stay up for this, or you can bring your hands to prayer if you feel like your balance is going to be a little rocky. And if it's not meant to be pretty. It's okay. Guide that left leg up, 90-degree angle, and flex the foot. Stand up really tall, squeeze the muscles around the right glute, the right quadricep. See if you can extend your arms up towards the sky. Guide your left leg back, warrior one. Yep. Your back foot's now on like a 70-degree angle and the left side of your body steers forward. And once again, if it's not looking pretty, don't worry about it. Just move with your body and your breath the best that you can. We're not going to move super, super fast. Hands come down to frame your front foot through vinyasa, or simply just go to dog and meet us there. from your down dog, first land your left foot forward, crescent lunge. So come up high on the ball of your back foot. Just do that much first. Yep. Steering your hip points forward, your side body's nice and long. So doing the best that you can, hands can always come to prayer, arm can stay active and up as well. Drag the right leg up to a 90-degree angle and flex the foot strong. And if it doesn't work, you just drag your leg up. Focus on that left glute, the left quadricep, and then stand up a little taller. Keep the breath flowing, fix your eyes on something that's not moving. So if you're practicing with someone and they're falling all over the place, don't look at them. Yeah. Guide your right leg back, warrior one. Look the other way. Yeah. Steer the right side of your body forward. It's hard to see some of your feet, so just do your best to know that your left foot and your right foot are about hips width distance. And the right side of the body has enough movement to be enough forward. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Through a vinyasa or take it out. Be okay with doing a little less today if it doesn't work for you. Good, look where you wanna go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Weight moves into your heels. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. So these are a little untraditional vinyasa flows, okay? So here we go. Arms go straight up, heavy in your heels for chair. Dive over, bend knees, let your head go. Long spine sets you up, step or float through your version. You can always just go to a down dog if the push-ups are too much. Hips up and back, down dog. So the right foot lands, crescent lunge first. Yep. So we're gonna come up and balance in tree. So you're gonna have to use your hand in order to kind of captivate this. The left leg bends up and you can use your left hand, tree pose, grip your hips in. Now, if the balance is really off this morning, you can always have your foot down low and have a low tree, okay? So find tree and then grow the branches of your tree the best that you can, hug your outer hips in. Lengthen your tailbone. Feel the extension from your hips all the way up through your armpits, from your armpits all the way up to your fingertips. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Ground with that standing right leg. Keep the arms moving up. You're gonna guide that left leg back, warrior one. Just do your best. Just working on proprioception, where your body is in space. Take it to the floor through a vinyasa or opt for the dog. Hips up and back, down dog is where we meet. The left foot lands. First, we rise crescent lunge because we're gonna get those hips nice and squared off. Yeah. So you gotta focus on that standing left leg. It's the push-off leg. And then you're gonna drag your right leg up and you may need to use your right hand in order to do it. Tree pose. Take a moment to set it up. You can go into a low tree with your foot closer towards the ground or resting on your calf. Outer hips grip in, arms extend up. Fix your eyes. Quiet your mind and just be here, be present for yourself. Keep the arms moving up. Let's guide that right leg back, warrior one. Nice big step back. Warrior one. You got it. Hands to the earth through a vinyasa. The up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Center of your heels melt in down dog. Yeah, look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Heavy in your heels for chair. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Let's keep going. We're building here. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Sit heavy in your heels for chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine sets you up, step or float through your vinyasa. Press through your hands and your feet. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, crescent lunge. Good, wrap your left arm underneath your right. And if you can't find your left arm, your right arm, you can just give a bear hug. Yeah. Wrap your left thigh around for eagle. Now you don't have to get your foot to go all the way around your calf. You can just think about your legs under a table, wrapping them up. Yep. Steer your hips towards the back skinny edge of the mat. Lift your elbows up so you're getting a nice openness through the upper shoulders and chest. And sit heavy in that standing right heel. Squeeze. Keep the lower half of the body super tight. Just unravel your arms to the sky. Guide your left leg back, warrior one. You're doing great. Hands come down through a vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, crescent lunge. So you just have to kind of get out of your own way. Good. So find the crescent lunge first, then find your right arm and wrap it underneath your left arm. Yeah, and you can always give yourself a little bear hug if it doesn't work. Rather than yanking down, lift the elbows up. So you have to really focus on that left leg, gripping that hip in, and then swirl that right leg up and around. And you don't have to wrap your foot. You can just kind of keep it dangling in space like I'm demonstrating. Sweep your knees a little to the right and upper body a little to the left. Focus on that bent left leg. Weights in that standing heel. Squeeze. Breathe right here. Unravel just your arms. Stay bent in that left leg. Guide your right leg back, warrior one. You're doing awesome. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa. Upward facing. Hips up and back. Downward facing. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Get there light. Long spine on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into your heels for chair. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up. Heavy in your heels for chair pose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step or float through your variation here. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Have a block or something at the top of the mat. We're going to change it up here. Right foot lands, crescent lunge. Come up. So we're going to step up to figure four, which is ankle to knee. Okay, so you can bring your hands to prayer. You can bring your hands to your hips if you feel like your balance is a little off. But essentially, you're taking your left ankle over that right thigh and flexing that top foot. Yes. And then you're going to drop your seat very, very low. Good. And then you're going to start to pivot forward with your torso. And this is where the blocks come into play. You only have one, place it in the center. If you have two, one under each hand. Flex the foot around the outside of that right tricep. Steer your hips back. Breathe. So the goal here is to sit really low in that right leg and then feel like there's an openness of your chest. Good. Couple more breaths. The more you steer your hips back, the more you're going to feel through your outer hips, which is what we're looking for here. So to get out of this pose, you're going to come up nice and slow. Try not to let your left leg touch the ground. Your hands will come to hips. You're going to swing your left leg around so it's a 90-degree angle. You're going to step open to warrior two. Warrior two. So now it's open hips, guys. Right foot intersects left arch. Spread your collarbone in your chest. You're going to hold here 5 breaths. Yeah, so tendency is to lean. You want to find center, lengthen your tailbone, draw your lower belly in, wrap your inner right thigh open. That's how we're just going to keep symmetry in our body. Close your eyes and just be here. Find space. Anchor sit a little deeper without clenching the mat. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Let your side body open this morning. Come back through warrior two. Rest your right arm on the top of your right thigh. Stretch your left arm up. If the arm can go up and forward, that's always an option, but it doesn't feel good in a lot of people's bodies. So kind of have to kind of muddle through this a little. Your right shoulder's away from your ear. Yeah. Your right hip tucks under and your right ribs are able to turn. If you get here and you're like, I'm feeling good and I want to add a little more, your hand can slide down to the outside of that right foot to the floor or a block, and the block can go any direction to support your pose. Arm on top of thigh is just fine for today. Yeah, so find something you know you can hold and breathe because we'll be here for a few breaths. If your hand is on the outside on the block, just make sure that the outer part of your right leg and the inside of your right arm are connected, right? Left arm is wrapping forward and up or straight up towards the sky. Strong anchor of your left leg, and your breath is flowing. Couple more. Circle up to a warrior two. Lengthen your tailbone, breathe. Take it to the floor through a vinyasa. You're also welcome to skip it or add in extra push-ups if you're jacked up on coffee. Yeah. Step your left foot forward. First, we go crescent lunge, okay? Because I want to get the hip points really squared off. Yep, so take your time. The arms can be up, guys. The hands can be in prayer. The easiest and the most efficient is probably going to be your hands on your hips. You could really feel as you guide your right leg up into ankle to knee. Flex the foot. So think chair pose, and then you're crossing your right ankle so it hangs over the edge of that left knee. And sometimes you need to give yourself a little adjustment. That's fine. And then start to tip forward while keeping your chest open. I recommend resting your hands on blocks, 1 or 2. Flex the foot around the outside of that left calf, tricep here, and get heavy in that standing left leg. Breathe. The more you flex your foot, the more support you're going to give that knee to give it a little love. Steer your hips back. Yeah. Good. So to get out of this pose, we're going to move slow. Try not to let your right leg touch. Hands to hips. Swing your right leg forward to the 90-degree angle. With your hands on your hips, then guide your right leg open for a warrior two. Spread your arms nice and wide. Yeah. Always look at your feet. Even after doing this for like 25 years, I always check my alignment, making sure my left foot and my back right arch line up. My knee tracks directly over the ankle. The collarbone is spread nice and wide. And then you find symmetry here in your body, and everyone's body is a little different. So I just give you some points of reference. Just make sure your left knee wraps open. Yeah. Looks really good. Yeah. And then maybe close your eyes. Let yourself just be for a few breaths. Try not to fight the resistance of it. Yeah. Be patient. Isn't that a virtue? They say. Stay for a few more. And just to make it feel a little better this morning, let's flip the palm to reverse the warrior, which is just an offering of the side body, kind of lengthen. Come back through warrior two. And everybody start with your arm on the top of the thigh this morning and kind of check in. So the nature of our body is our hips are tight. So the left hip wants to jut out. See if you can tuck it under. Turn the bottom rib, stack the right arm up, or bring it up and forward if you've got a little bit more space in your upper torso. Everybody's different. If you're here and you're like, all right, I feel pretty solid. I feel like I want to take this a little deeper, or I'm happy where I am. I mean, happy is a strong word in yoga poses, but hand to the outside of your foot if you're going to go deeper. You've got to continue to roll your inner left thigh open, which means the outer part of your left leg and the inside of the left arm are staying connected. Really important. If you can't breathe in the pose, you've gone too far. So back out of it. And then once we find it, we capture it, we have to hold. We have to hold for a few really good breaths and make it count. Keep turning those bottom ribs towards the sky. Anchor through your legs, stay strong. Warrior two, pull it up. Take it to the floor through a vinyasa, okay? Just keep it moving here. The up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Yeah, when you lift your right leg, try and lift from your inner right thigh. Point your right toes, come forward to plank and hug your right knee in. We're just gonna work on a little joint mobility. Press firm through your hands. Extend the right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Press like you're moving through molasses. Point your right toe, come forward and hug your right knee in and up. Scoop up the belly. Extend the right leg up and back. One more, come forward, hug the right knee in, scoop it up, look forward. Land your right foot forward and through. Turn the back foot on a strong angle. Cartwheel open warrior two. We've been here, so it should feel more familiar in your body, hopefully. Yeah. Straighten your right leg on track. This is where you have to determine what feels best in your body. You may need to scoot your left foot in because we're going to take triangle. Reach out, grab anywhere along the front of your right shin, or use a block to the outside of that right calf is a great way to take this. But you want to feel like you're pulling up on the pant leggings or on your skin. There's a soft bend behind the right knee always, just to protect that hamstring and knee. Back legs on a strong angle. Good. Stack up your shoulders and look sideways, or if your neck allows you to, look up. Not always does that happen. Sometimes you have to look down too. And then we're going to hold a few breaths. Anchor through your feet, inner and outer thighs. You should feel a very nice stretch along the side of your body, your obliques. Connect. You got to kind of find harmony in the posture with your breath and just the feeling of holding. That's when you know you've arrived. Look to the floor, left hand comes down. We're going to float right up here into an Ardha Chandrasana, hands down, my favorite posture. So use a block, place it up on its highest setting. If you're in a room that has a bare wall, you're welcome to just lean your body against that wall. Or ask for small people in your house to help hold you up. Stack the left arm up and find your way here into your version. Yeah, soften behind the right knee and focus on that right foot and hip, staying really forward and grounded. If you want to add candlestick Chopasana here, bend at your top left knee crease, grab behind, get hold of your foot, and you can kick behind you. This is totally optional, just giving you options. Turn the bottom ribs, look sideways, look up, and breathe. Kind of mellow into the pose. Regular half moon, just extend the leg, extend the arm. Eyes go to the floor, left hand comes down, just square the hips, but keep the lift of the leg. Take a giant step back into a low lunge. Walk the right foot a little to the right. Great opportunity here to use the block. Left hand can come down if you need it. Right arm can spiral open. If lower back feels kind of crammed up and sensitive, I'm showing a modification with your hand on your lower back. You can also always drop your bottom knee, okay? Just an easy twist. Wrap your inner right thigh in so you're not rolling open and stack it up. So if your hand is resting on a block, just push it out of the way for a brief moment. Get the left palm flat to the mat if you can. And you're gonna roll into Vashisthasana side plank. The left foot turns, the right leg can stack on top of the left, or you can stagger your feet, or I'll show a nice modification with the knee down and the right leg lifted, or the right leg down. So it's basically, we're just doing a side plank, a variation that you know you can hold and breathe. We want our hips, yes, stacked on top of one another. This looks great. Some of you are adding the tree. That's perfect, Dara. Evan, looks awesome. Breathe right here. 2 more. Plank position, slow transition. Sometimes we're just like flop out of it. We're like, oh, it's over. Chaturanga if you can. Up dog, pull yourself through. Nice work. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe your left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Yep. Hug the hips in and find evenness through your hands and the sides of your arms. Point your left toe, come forward and hug your left knee in and up, scoop up the belly. I want you to really feel the ground, press the floor wet. Extend the left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Point the toe, come forward, hug the knee in, scoop up the belly. Extend the left leg up and back, flex. One more, come forward and hug it straight in and up. Step the foot forward and through, turn the back foot on a strong angle and circle up warrior 2. So you're gonna come up warrior 2. Yeah. Nice big juicy stance. Good. Straighten your left leg on track and then decide, do you want a really long triangle or maybe you need something in the middle? Reach out, make sure your left foot is forward and find Trikonasana triangle pose. So some styles of practice do it like where it's a little shorter. Some of us do it a little longer. There's no right or wrong. It just has to feel good in your body. You want to feel that your right foot is really grounded. Your left knee always has a little supporting bend behind it. And you're able to stack your 2 shoulders like side plank. It's the same pose. Grip the hips in. A few more. You got to stay a little bit longer in some of these poses. I know it's super exciting. Anchor through your feet. Connect to your breath. And just find a dristi. So you're going to keep the strong straight shape. Bring your right hand to your hip. Definitely use the block. Reach out and see if you can step up in one piece, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Once you get up, you may be able to extend your right arm up towards the sky, spark up the right toes. Feel free to lean against furniture here. Yeah. And then add in the bind only if this feels good in your body this morning. So it's completely optional. Turn the bottom ribs, look sideways, look up. And just keep in mind, anytime you play with balance on your mat, there's this opportunity of falling. So if you fall, just start again. It's a good place to try things out. Focus on your left foot, make sure it stays forward, gripping that left hip in. Release the arm and the leg, Ardha Chandrasana. Eyes go to the floor, right hand comes down. Just keep the lift of the right leg in space. So you're squaring everything off. Then take a giant step back with your right leg. So your left leg is forward and your right leg is back. Just a basic, easy twist here. Your right hand can come flat to the ground, or you could use a block for the first part of the pose. Engage that back leg, or no, you can drop your back knee like I'm demonstrating here. Yeah. Grip the left hip in, stack up the shoulders, stack up the arms, look sideways, look up. Moving into the side plank, you're gonna have to move the block out of the way. Right palm's gonna go flat, and you can turn open into any variation of side plank. I'm demonstrating the modified one here. Your right hand has to be about 1 inch in front of your right shoulder so you can find that sweet spot. Stack up your feet. You can stagger the feet. From your bottom hip to your top hip, you lift. Look sideways, look up. Add in whatever you need to make this feel good. 2 more. Plank position, do it slow. Add in your push up if you're able to. Drag yourself through a smooth up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Step your right foot forward, crescent lunge. Stay with me, we'll be done before you know it. Not that you want to be eating again, but you know, your next meal is on its way. Drag your hands to prayer, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Yeah, so we just took the modified version of this, easy twist. So if you need to do that again or drop the back knee, please feel free to do so. You want to look sideways and look up. The trick in this pose is to grip your right hip in really, really strong and integrate your back leg. These look awesome. Nice job. 2 more. Nice, Chrissy. Eyes go to the floor, hands come down, pause. So your hands are just framing your front foot. I want you to spring your left foot forward to the top of the mat. Feet can be about hips width distance. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair pose. Weight goes into your heels. I take chair with my feet separated, about hips width distance. So you can play with that. Hands to prayer, inhale the breath. You're gonna hook and twist. If anything's going on in your body, know that you could just stay upright in chair and just take a little baby twist, because sometimes it's a little aggressive in your low back. So know this is an option. What's important here is that your feet, your knees, your left knee needs to go back. Yeah, it's coming from your hips. Stay aligned. Yes, so it's not about how deep am I going in these poses. No one cares. Yeah, I'd rather you be upright and hovering, but be aligned. Yep, you got it. Good work. Pull around to chair pose. Keep your arms moving up. Very simple movement here, guys. You're gonna stand up and draw your right knee in towards your navel. Give your right leg a hug today. Yeah, give it a hug. So hook the big toe, hand could be on your hip, extend your right leg forward if this is available. If it's not, just keep your right hand on your right knee, extend your left arm up. This is the other alternative. Do it with a bent right leg, don't worry about it. If you can kick your right leg forward and through, stand up really, really tall. Hip points move forward, energetically reaching up. Soften the shoulders down the back. So wherever you are, keep the leg in space and just bring both arms up. Even if the leg is bent in a 90-degree angle, draw the lower belly in, flex. Arms are moving up. Guide that leg back, crescent lunge. Welcome to the left side. Drag the hands to prayer. Lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Modify if you need to. Knee can come down. You can stay upright. So learning modifications is how we endure a lifelong yoga practice. To just show up and do the same pose the same way every single time, it's unrealistic. Our bodies change, our bodies need change, so be open to it. Lean back a little, crown of the head lines up with that back right heel, and get in there however you are. Hands to frame your front foot, spring forward. Long spine on your inhale, fold one more time. Chair heavy in your heels. Drag your hands to prayer, inhale your breath. You're gonna hook and go towards the left now. Staying upright, this is the modification. This is awesome. Really work on the structure of the lower half of the body, making sure your right knee doesn't slide past your left. Yes, keep the breath flowing. The spine is long, so look sideways or look up. Try not to look back. When we look back, we round. Yeah, you should have a burning sensation in your quads. You know you've arrived. Solid job. Pull around to chair. Stay heavy in your legs. Now, as you pull up to this chair, the arms are moving up. You're just going to press into your right leg and draw your left knee in towards your navel. Just stand up tall. Honestly, some days just coming here and just meditating on this for a few breaths is really great. If you'd like to move on, you can hook the big toe with a peace sign grip. Right hand will slide to hip. If you're able to extend that left leg forward, go for it, or just do it with a bent left knee. Right arm can extend up. You want to stand up really tall. Draw the shoulders down the back, draw the lower belly in, and fix your eyes. And wherever you are is where you are for today. So try not to let your left leg drop. Keep it up. You can just bend it in half, both arms up. So both arms are energetically moving up, lower belly draws in. Guide your leg back, crescent lunge one more time. Good. Bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step your back foot in like a lot, that like a short warrior one. Bring your hands to your hips, come halfway up and come the rest of the way up. We need twisting triangle. So right foot walks a little to the right, left leg is solid and straight, right hand on hip, left arm extends up. You can come halfway down, and then you're gonna come the rest of the way down. For some reason, you're not twisting today, back is sensitive, take this more like a Parsvottanasana. So you just kind of fold over your leg if you're not into the twisting, okay? Yeah. Perfect. So just make sure, Evan, that your right foot is enough to the right, because if your stance is too much on a tightrope, it's gonna feel like you can't balance. Yeah, so you gotta kind of play with the splay, and then the block up high and the right hand on the flat part of your back. This is gonna give you information. Look sideways and then anchor your back leg. The front leg can have as much bend as it needs, and then start to peel open. The right arm up towards the sky is the last piece of this. Don't need to go there. Keep feeling like someone's got you by a bungee cord and they're pulling your hips back. That's how you're gonna get the hamstrings to open. Look sideways, look up. Take another big twist. Exhale the breath. Hands to frame your front foot. Just step to a dog for me. Just step to a down dog. From this down dog, just step your left foot forward. Scooch your back foot in enough. Bring your hands to your hips, come halfway up, come the rest of the way up. Sometimes just keeping it simple is the way to go. Left hand on hip, right arm extends up. You come halfway down, feel like someone's got you by your hip. Like I give myself a little manual adjustment, and then come the rest of the way down. I go high with the block. Yeah, and then left hand stays on the flat part of the back. That my neighbors next door must think that all that I do is yoga. Right, because they're constantly like seeing me in here doing yoga practices. Stack it open and breathe. Good. Hug your hips in. Feel like someone's got you by that bungee cord and they're pulling your hips back. That's the sensation. Spine is long. Two more. Hands to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. I want to do a little different back bending today. So just come into a tabletop position for me. Yeah. And extend your right leg back like a three-legged dog, but just allowing your on the tabletop. Reach your left arm forward. Yeah. Reach back with your left arm and see if you can get hold of your right ankle. Listen, if this doesn't work, your balance isn't there today, your flexibility isn't there, just create the shape. So I'm just doing this here without grabbing the foot, and I'm not putting myself in too much, a difficulty spot. So if you can get hold of the ankle, that's great. You want to kick up and back, steer your chest forward. Good. This is a back bend. Yep. But it's mild and it should feel doable wherever you are. Kick a little more, flex the foot, and then that's going to get you across the front side of your thigh. Good. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Take the left hand down to the ground. Hug your right knee in towards your navel and step your right foot forward and through. Come up to a supported lunge. If you need to pad your knee, pad your knee. An alternative is to slide a block and let your knee kind of hang off if you feel like it's jamming into the ground. This is actually a crazy runner stretch to get that psoas open. It's a crazy stretch. So if you do have a block or a pillow, make sure your knee is hanging off the block. Good. 90-degree angle with that right leg. Left leg is straight up and down. Curl the toes into the mat. There you go. Sweep your arms up. Good. Drop your arms down, clasp the hands. Back bend number 2. Open the chest and breathe. The goal is to keep everything very neutral. Gripping the right hip in, anchoring the right foot, eyes of the shoulders lift, hip points lift. You feel that? Sweep the arms out and up. Hands to frame your front foot. Integrate your back leg. You're in a low lunge. Plant the hands down. Feed your right leg up and through for a three-legged down dog. So if you got lost, you're in a down dog with your right leg lifted. Look forward and swing your right knee forward for a half pigeon. Yeah, and then fold here. Let your head just go. Let's see. Yeah, take your block, Evan, and shove it underneath your right butt cheek. Shove it under there. There you go, perfect. So as I always say, we don't want to have dying pigeon in this pose. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see. And the block will just keep you, so you're not rolling right and you're not rolling left, you're even. And then you can fold if you're able to. If you need to brace yourself with your hands, then brace yourself with your hands. Downward facing dog. Drop to your knees, tabletop position. Yep. Stay with me, one more side. Extend the left leg back, three-legged tabletop. Reach the right arm back. Bend at your knee crease, grab your foot, grab your ankle, just create the shape. It's funny how when you switch sides sometimes, your balance is just off. Keep your neck neutral, your chest steering forward, and breathe. I find if you curl your right toes into the mat, sometimes it gives you a little bit more balance. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Keep the lift of the left leg. Bring the right hand down. Yes, you're in a little baby tabletop. Hug your left knee in and up, scoop up the belly. Step your left foot forward and through. Rise on the breath for a supported lunge here. So taking the block and placing it underneath that shin, let the knee hang off the edge of the block. This is an unbelievable stretch for that right side. Curl the right toes into the mat. So your shin is pressing into the block. Bring your arms up for a second. Then drop them down and switch the clasp with the grip. Opposite thumb, opposite baby finger. And then eyes to the shoulders, lift and breathe. You got it. My back toes are curled into the mat because it's going to give you a little bit more stability if you can. This is a small movement exercise. So you might not feel like a lot is happening, but this is the best type of back bend you're actually going to give yourself because you're not jamming into that low back. You're creating space. Sweep the arms out and up. Hands to frame the front foot. Integrate the back right leg so you're in a low lunge. Hands go flat. Feed your left leg up and through for a three-legged down dog. Left leg is up. Come forward. Find your left leg forward into a half pigeon pose. So once you come down here, if there's a lot of space, take that block underneath that left glute butt cheek area and then set it up here and fold. Let your head go. Yeah, you guys are doing awesome. Good. Come up nice and slow. If you're sitting on the block, just move it out in front of you. Lean onto the left side. Sweep the right leg forward. So with your feet hips width distance, stretch your arms straight up towards the sky and then exhale the breath, reach out and fold. I find when you do this hips width distance, it feels much, much better. If your hands don't reach towards your feet, don't stress. Just have your hands alongside the body. But inhale, lengthen with your heart, with your chest. Exhale, create an extension and fold. You should just feel it through the back side of your legs. Good. Come up nice and slow, roll down. We're going to set up for 2 variations of back bend. If you would like to just do supported bridge, I will demonstrate. So bend your legs in half. Make sure your fingertips skim the backs of your heels. Lift your tailbone up. You can robot your arms. This is basic bridge. The tailbone lifts. If you'd like to just support the posture, you could slide a block any direction underneath your low back. The highest direction is going to be the most aggressive. So find something you can maintain for a few breaths. Yeah. For those of you that want to go up into a full wheel, you feel open enough, you feel warm enough, you'll flip your palms now and you can give it a whirl. If you're like, I don't know what full wheel is, maybe today's not the day. Right, just stay basic, stay supported, stay in robot. Yes, nice. Steer your feet forward. Awesome job. Exhale the breath, lower down. Take a breath in. If you're on a block, keep it there. Take a breath out. Yeah, slide a block underneath your lower back, everybody, and then just elevate your legs. So this is a supported shoulder stand. Yeah. Lift the legs straight up. So if you run, you cycle, you play tennis, you do anything where you're like moving a lot, this pose is fantastic because it's going to get rid of lactic acid. Yeah. It's like legs up the wall. And if your knees are bent, that's fine. Don't worry about straightening them. Yes. Close your eyes if you can. Keeping your eyes closed, bend your legs in half. Take your feet flat to the floor. Once the feet come down, then lift the hips up enough to remove the block out from underneath you, and then lower the hips down. Grab one thigh, the top of the right knee and the left knee, and just draw them in towards your chest to the outside of your ribs. This is a great way to take happy baby if you can't reach your feet. If you can, reach for the blades of your feet and pull your knees down around your ribs, lengthen your tailbone. So if you can't grab the base of your feet, just pull each shin knee area into the sides of the ribs. This is going to give you the hip opener. And then extend your left leg out and just give your right leg a little tug and take the right leg over towards the left for a basic supine twist. Yeah. Come up to center, relax the right leg, give the left knee a little squeeze, and then take it over to the right for a supine twist on that side. Oh, I just got a good crack. Good work. Come up to center. Give your knees a big squeeze in and find Shavasana. And this is the hardest pose to master in general, definitely the hardest at home. So give yourself the next minute or two to just kind of check out. Close your eyes, put a blanket or a towel over your eyes, turn your palms open. This is where the central nervous system can reprieve. Take a big breath in. Take a full, complete exhale breath out. Bring the arms up over the top of the head. Wiggle your hands, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And then give a little squeeze of your knees in towards your chest. And however you like to rock up, but try and do it with your eyes closed. Sit up nice and tall, let the hands come to prayer. We did a lot of poses today. I definitely call this a moving meditation. So moving and shaking our way through the morning. Be grateful you're able to do it. Bow your head for a moment. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Go out there, have an awesome afternoon. Stay away from the stores today. And I'll see you next time.